Chief of Staff under President Obama. Bill Daley is with me right now to talk more about markets and money. Good to see you, Bill.
Thanks.
Thank you so much for joining us. What's your take on, is this a new strategy, do you think, by Hillary Clinton? What's your take on?
Well, I think, this is the end of the summer, and you're now getting into the serious time. No doubt about it. I knew Mrs. Rodham. I know how close Hillary was and is to her, and how emotional she gets when talking about her mother.
You do.
Because they came from a very middle-class family in Park Ridge, Illinois. So when she talks about the middle class, she understands that, in spite of the fact that she's moved way beyond that over, obviously, the last 25 years.
For sure. Yeah, it's interesting because hearing her apologize, you wonder, does it end up hurting her or helping her? Because this email scandal is not going away.
Right.
And even though I think her entire, group around her is saying, look, just play it down, it feels like maybe this is a new strategy. Apologize, embrace it. Perhaps then it goes away.
There's no question. I think probably people misjudged 5 months ago or whenever it was when this broke as to the degree and how long it would last. I think she felt and they felt we did the right thing. We followed at least the rules and the law. And now as facts come out that question that, it's lingering a lot longer than they ever thought, and it's going to stay around. So I think her saying she's sorry, trying to move on, at some point, the public will want to know, okay, if you want to be the president, what are you going to do for me? Not so much about what may have happened 4 or 5 or 6 years ago.
Right, because up until now, this issue is sort of dominating and masking any other messages that she's trying to get out.
But that seems to be the case in the summers before the actual elections, okay? There's lots of craziness going on.
Yeah, take us back to past ones.
Well, you could go back 4 years ago, and Herman Cain, who was 999 for tax reform, was leading the Republicans for three weeks.
Yeah.
And Michelle Bachmann, who, is gone. So the summer is kind of a period where people kind of vent themselves about politics.
Yeah.
But then when they begin to get closer to an election, we're 4 or 5 months away from people actually going in and voting, people begin to take this stuff more seriously. And you begin to see them looking at candidates, looking at their positions, not just the emotion around them or what may be going on in the summertime.
What's your sense of Joe Biden? Do you think he enters? What kind of impact might he have?
Well, I think it's a very difficult decision. Obviously, Joe has wanted to be president for many, many years, tried it twice. Didn't work out. It's been a very good vice president. It's gone through what is the most traumatic thing a parent could go through, loss of a child. And I think it's very tough. I think he'd like to do it. Whether he will or won't, I'm not quite sure. It is getting very late. But he's well known and he's got a great position to do something.
And really well liked. All right,
yeah,
so let's look at the other side.
Everyone's liked until the day after they announce, and then it begins to change.
Oh, God. Politics is tough, man.
Right.
Donald Trump, Carly Fiorina, Ben Carson, all D.C. outsiders, all at the top of the polls right now.
Right. But that's because people don't think the system's responding to them.
Yeah, they're mad as hell.
From very conservative to very liberal. Look at Bernie Sanders.
Yeah,
he's not even a Democrat. He's a socialist.
Yep.
And he's leading. So I think also, though, I believe when you get closer to people actually going in to vote, it'll begin to change.
So, what is it going to take to get people happy again if they're so angry at the establishment and they want to see change? How does that play out?
Well, I think it plays out right now as it is, and that is a lot of anger, a lot of outsiders, a lot of people who just say anything to get attention and say the most outlandish without putting any facts or real plan behind it, get attention. Whether that will remain, I still don't think people are going to walk in and vote for somebody who has no ideas but just a lot of noise for president and leader of the free world.
So
that doesn't happen.
Do you think it's the president that they're angry with or all of Washington?
No, I think there's a sense, and there's a lot of negativity in the economy right now, globally. There's just our politics has become very vicious, nasty. I spent 4 years as Commerce Secretary under Bill Clinton, late 90s. I went through the Gore-Bush as chairman of Gore's campaign. I went back under President Obama. Those 10 years between President Clinton and President Obama, that town is very different, very nasty politics. Quite frankly, the social media, the media itself, has become very much more aggressive, and not all for a good purpose. And it's changed our politics, and it's made it nastier. And the more outlandish you are, the more ridiculous you are, the nastier things you say. You take Ted Cruz. 3 days after Joe Biden's son died, he goes out and makes a joke about Joe Biden. Really? Okay.
Oh, my God.
What is that about? And then apologizes, but you could tell he really wasn't apologizing. He got caught saying it.
Things have become so ugly. No wonder you left.
Yeah.
No wonder you left. Let me ask you this. I want to ask you about your life now and sort of markets, because we've had such volatility last week. Before I go there, everyone is sort of in the gossip circles. They're saying President Obama is behind leaking everything about Hillary. Is it that much hatred between those two?
No. He was very, very pleased with the job she did as Secretary of State. They became very close. And President Clinton helped President Obama immensely in his reelection in 2012. People forget that. They got very close. No doubt about it. There was a lot of anger, a lot of difficulty out of the 2008 election. But he did ask her to be Secretary of State, probably the most important job other than Vice President you could ask someone. And they got along very well when I was there, and everything I know through her entire tenure as Secretary of State.
Real quick, what volatility? We're expecting another 200-point rally today. Last couple of Mondays ago, as you know, the market opens down 1,000 points. What the heck is going on? And now that you are a managing partner at Argentina Capital, you got skin in the game.
Yeah, very much so. Look, there's uncertainty everywhere. There's uncertainty with the Fed. Are they going to raise rates? How much, if at all, in September or December? What's going on in China? China's stimulating. there's a great conversation about them stimulating the economy. But then, and ECB last Thursday, Draghi's comments. At the same time, there's an overhanging question of the growth in the world economy. Is China growing at 7 or 5 or 4 or 3 or 8? What's
Who the
going
heck
on?
knows? What's
going to happen with the U.S.? So that uncertainty, which will continue for quite a while, is going to continue to fuel this volatility of up and down markets.
So as an investor, would you be buying here or selling?
I would be cautious in doing either side right now, to be frank.
You're on the sidelines?
No, our fund is not. Our fund is very aggressive. But I think we will see this volatility up and down for the next number of months, if not longer.
Bill, it's good to have you on the show today.
Thanks, Maria.
Thank you so much for joining us. Bill Daley there. Up next.